Have you ever had a teacher who locked you in during an emergency? I was stuck in after-school detention with 11 other kids in the old basement room. We were all there for stupid stuff like late homework. When the fire alarm went off, we all stood up to leave like we'd practiced since kindergarten. Mr. Andrews ran to the door and turned the deadbolt. The room used to be storage, so the lock only opened with a key from either side. The windows had bars. He said anyone who leaves gets expelled and he'll make sure we never graduate. He dropped the key in his pocket. We stared at him in shock. That alarm wasn't stopping. It was the continuous pattern that meant real danger. The alarm kept going. Through the barred windows, I watched teachers actually running across the parking lot. I'd never seen teachers run before. The intercom crackled to life, saying all personnel evacuate immediately because of a credible threat, and this is not a drill. Mr. Andrews walked over and switched off the intercom. He said our friends really committed to this prank. My phone started buzzing like crazy. Dad was texting that there was a threat at school and to get out now. Everyone's phones were going off and I could feel the panic spreading through the room. Andrews demanded phones on his desk. I watched John slip his into his pocket while pretending to put it down. Looking out the window, I could see the entire school standing on the football field. Hundreds of kids were pointing at our building. We were completely alone inside. A police officer suddenly appeared at our door and pulled hard on the handle. It wouldn't budge. The officer yelled that he was police and to open the door now. Andrews just crossed his arms and said he wasn't an idiot. I heard the officer talking into his radio about 12 juveniles trapped in room 015 basement with an old deadbolt and needing fire with breaching equipment immediately. More officers showed up. The parking lot was filling with police cars, but there were no sirens. That silence terrified me because it meant they thought something could actually explode. Through the window, I watched police pushing everyone further back from the building. The safe zone kept getting bigger. Parents were starting to show up, but police kept them behind yellow tape. John pulled out his hidden phone and called 911 on speaker. When the operator heard our teacher wouldn't let us out and had the key, her voice completely changed. She said fire department was en route with breaching tools and to stay low and away from windows. A girl threw up in the corner and the smell made me gag. Another kid started sobbing. I watched Andrews' hand go to his pocket where the key was, but he wouldn't pull it out. His face had gone completely pale. I heard heavy boots on the stairs above us. Firefighters appeared at our door with this massive piece of equipment. One said the reinforced frame would take at least 60 seconds once they started. The fire chief's voice boomed from outside that we were past the safe window and to get us out now. My heart was pounding so hard it hurt. Andrews still had his hand pressed against that pocket, protecting the key like it was more important than our lives. The grinding tool roared to life against our door, metal screaming against metal. The frame was bending, but the deadbolt held strong. The firefighters yelled to stand back because they were breaching. I couldn't take it anymore. I walked straight at Andrews. He screamed at me to sit down. I said to give us the key now. He said I just earned myself expulsion. I grabbed his wrist and held on tight. He tried to jerk away, but I wouldn't let go. I yelled for help. 3 kids jumped up immediately. We pulled him off balance and suddenly it was chaos. Andrews was swinging at us, but we had his arms. John went for his pocket. Andrews kicked someone. An elbow hit my ribs and it hurt like hell, but I didn't care. We were 12 terrified kids fighting one adult who cared more about being right than keeping us alive. The key hit the floor with a metallic clink. Everyone dove for it. Andrews dropped to his knees reaching for it. My fingers found the metal first. He grabbed my wrist hard. Someone pulled him backward. I had it. The firefighter's tool shrieked louder. The deadbolt was almost broken. My hands were trembling so bad I missed the lock completely. Second try. The key went in and turned. The door flew open just as the deadbolt snapped. Firefighters were pointing up the stairs screaming to go. I flew up those basement stairs faster than I'd ever moved in my life. The main floor was completely empty. Every classroom door was wide open. The exit was straight ahead and I could see sunlight. We burst outside and kept running until we hit the field. My dad was gripping the fence line. When he saw me, his knees actually buckled. They brought Andrews out in handcuffs. The judge gave him 11 years for attempted murder. They found an active device 2 floors directly above us.